The clock is ticking for nearly 8,000 Cameroonians living in the United States. Nearly 8,000 Cameroonians living legally in the United States are now facing deportation. Why? Because the Trump administration just terminated their temporary protected status, a move that has stunned human rights advocates and raised serious questions about U.S. immigration policy and how Africa should respond. This is more than a news story, it's a wake-up call, what Africa must do now. The end of TPS is a critical moment for the Cameroonian diaspora. The implications are vast, affecting not only those directly impacted but also the broader community. On April 11, 2025, the Trump administration officially announced the end of Temporary Protected Status, or TPS, for Cameroon. That means by June 2025, thousands of people, students, parents, workers, and community members, will be forced to leave the United States or face deportation. Is this just policy, or is it politics wrapped in prejudice? Today we break down the story, what it means, and how Africa must respond. To understand what's at stake, we first need to talk about TPS. Temporary Protected Status was created by the U.S. Congress in 1990, not as a gift, but as a humanitarian safeguard. When war, natural disaster, or chaos breaks out in a country, the United States can offer temporary protection from deportation for people already on American soil. Not citizenship, not a green card, just a chance to live and work safely until things calm down back home. Cameroon was granted TPS in 2022 due to the Anglophone crisis, a violent separatist conflict in the West, government crackdowns and human rights abuses, Boko Haram insurgency in the north, mass displacement of civilians and state instability. The U.S. recognized the chaos in Cameroon until now. Fast forward to April 2025. The Trump administration decides to terminate TPS for both Cameroonians and Afghans. According to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, the situation in Cameroon has sufficiently improved to justify ending the protection. But here's the thing. Human rights groups like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch strongly disagree. The United Nations still considers Cameroon a volatile conflict zone. So the big question is, why now? Why these people? And is it really about Cameroon or about a political agenda? Let's be real, this isn't just about improved conditions. This is about Trump 2024. Cutting TPS fits Trump's long-standing hardline stance on immigration. He's built his political brand on reducing immigrant protections, especially for non-European groups. He tried to revoke TPS for countries like El Salvador, Haiti, and Sudan in his first term. A judge blocked his attempt to revoke Venezuelan TPS, citing racial bias in his administration's communications. If bias played a role before, could it be happening again? What's even more alarming, in 2021, Cameroonian asylum seekers reported being tortured in ICE custody. Some were forced to sign deportation papers under duress. Many fear returning to political persecution, imprisonment, or worse. This isn't just politics, it's life or death. Behind every TPS number is a story. Mothers, students, entrepreneurs, healthcare workers, people who've built lives here for over a decade. Imagine being told that after all these years, you have 60 days to pack up your life and leave, or be arrested. Some of these Cameroonians have children who are U.S. citizens, many have jobs in critical industries, some are even married to American citizens. Deporting them would be more than cruel, it would be destructive to the very communities they serve. As long as African lives are treated as disposable abroad, our silence makes us complicit. This isn't just about immigration, it isn't just a U.S. issue, it's an African issue. So how should Africa respond? It's about justice, fairness, and how we treat the vulnerable. If the richest nation on earth cannot provide temporary refuge to those fleeing war, what message does that send to the world? This isn't just a U.S. issue, it's an African issue. So how should Africa respond? The African Union and Cameroon's government must demand the U.S. reconsiders its decision. Ensure safe reintegration for any forced returnees, provide legal aid and diplomatic pressure. Africa's responsibility in addressing the migration crisis is immense. It's not just about preventing people from leaving, but also about creating conditions that make staying a viable and attractive option. More importantly, Africa must ask, why are so many of our brightest youth risking everything to live elsewhere? We must build economies that create jobs, reform governance so people aren't fleeing political violence, protect our diaspora citizens wherever they are. When Africa is silent, others feel free to exploit and discard us. That must end now. Now is the time for action. We must come together, leverage our resources, and create a future where every African feels valued and empowered to contribute to our collective progress. The responsibility lies with each one of us. Let's make it happen. Let's be clear, ending TPS for Cameroonians is not just a bureaucratic move. It's a targeted political decision with real human consequences. It undermines humanitarian principles. It sends a dangerous message about which lives matter, and it tests whether Africa will stand by her people abroad. To the U.S. administration, reconsider this decision. To African leaders, speak with one voice. To Cameroonians in America, you are not alone. The diaspora must rise, the continent must respond. Justice must be louder than politics. Now, as we wrap up, it's crucial to engage with this issue on multiple levels. Stay informed, raise your voice, and support those affected. If this video moved you, hit like, subscribe, and share this message with your network. Comment below. Do you think TPS should be restored for Cameroonians? What responsibility does Africa have to its diaspora? This is not just news, it's the African narrative, unfiltered. Should African leaders speak up more for the diaspora? What should be done to protect the 7,900 Cameroonians now at risk? Drop a comment. Together we can make a difference. Thank you for watching, and remember, every action counts.